Hello, my name is Alicia. I go by Allie. I don't know why or who or even where I'm going to post this since I'm Facebook banned. Hard time. My IP's been recorded. Probably have an FBI agent. But anyways, something's been telling me to go ahead and record my testimony and really just illuminate the changes in my life that haven't come from me or my work. I'm 36. I was gonna put makeup on to film this, and I don't know, maybe the package isn't important, just the messages. I grew up in a Christian household. My parents divorced at 2 when I was 2, and I always went to my dad's on Sunday for church and, you know, spend the day with him and go back home. It was pretty much, I just saw him on Sundays. And growing up, I had a real sense of, you know, Sunday school, and I got baptized. I went to the class and I accepted Jesus, you know, was born again, and I did the routine things that you're supposed to do. I lived 2 very separate lives. My mom was in a relationship with people in rock bands, and there was always band practice at home and music and people in and out and drinking, I'm sure drugs, and that was pretty much the normal lifestyle at home. And I had a younger sister and a younger brother. I'm the oldest. So pretty much my life growing up in the house was taking care of my brothers and sisters and my mom, because my mom would come home crying from the bar and lay in my bed with me because I was the oldest. I was her first child, so I'd rub her hair to go back to sleep, and I was always very responsible for everybody in my life. And I would say I was a good girl until I moved to Florida, which I was 13, 14, just turning 14. I didn't really say bad words. I grew up with playing piano and going to etiquette school and taking family vacations, and just grew up kind of in that kind of bubble. Even though my parents kind of were in the loud rock and roll vibe, they tried to give us experiences. When I moved to Florida, my whole family unit moved 2 months before me. My mom, my stepdad, who pretty much was raising me, it was my little brother's dad. We all have different fathers. And my sister and brother, my dog, my bird, everybody moved down to Florida, and I had 2 months left of school, so I was going to stay at my dad's. My dad has a different expectation for me than my mom did, as my dad raised me in a Christian home. My dad wouldn't let me trick or treat with my brother and sister. He'd pick me up. We'd go to the horrors of reality of Halloween and drugs. And I remember the power team, watching them rip over phone books, you know, and all the strength that God gave them. And so I had a very juxtaposition of the crazy, frantic 80s hair metal mom and a very religious dad who expected certain things of me. So I pretty much compartmentalized who I was all the time. We would take vacations with my dad, just me and my dad, to his family, and I remember always being very quiet because my jokes were not funny, or, you know, I was being inappropriate, or I just remember my dad gave me a feeling of I needed to be quiet and monitored at all times and seen but not heard, and, you know, respected and beneath him in a way that I was always just kind of quiet to myself and uncomfortable. And I even remember there's a time when I was an adult, I introduced him to a GM, and he told me, when men are talking, you don't interject. And I'm like, this is my boss. There was something we were talking about. Everybody was having a conversation, but the kind of feeling my dad gave me was, you're seen and not heard. So that's just kind of how I was. So when I was 14, about to turn 15, a family member had really violated me. I woke up to, being molested, a sexual encounter. I remember just being very scared, so I was frozen while it was happening until the intruder left, and I went to the bathroom, got myself gathered. I had the courage to tell that intruder to go ahead and take me home where I had been living because I was not comfortable. They said, "Did you have a bad dream?" And I was like, "Look, I know what happened. We're not going to talk about it. Just take me home." I actually left my mom. This is so 15. I was living with my boyfriend's family because the chaos going on at home, I wasn't happy. I mean, I would write notes in the closet with the door shut with all these bad words, slut, whore, whatever, just to get feelings out. And then they would see things like that and yell at me because I was doing something. And it's like, how do I get my feelings out? How can I express all of this pain that I'm putting from different people, trying to rise and be the best, trying to be responsible, still getting good grades in school? How can I do all this? So I couldn't. So I lived with the boyfriend's mom. They lived in a country, back roads, dirt road place, but she really rehabilitated my spirit after what had happened to me. I was wearing black makeup, safety pins in my shirts, just real alternative. And she took all my clothes away and bought pink clothes, Hello Kitty, and probably that's why I am today. Pink hair, alternative, mom shirt. I mean, I'm just two people in one. So after that happened to me, and, my dad raising me in this life where I was Christian and chosen from God, but the way of the world was just breaking me down. So, of course, I did drugs and alcohol at 15, 16 years old. I cut myself. I call myself a high-functioning suicidal because I would never act on it because of the consequence, but it is a very illustrious, alluring, seductive idea to me that I don't have to wake up tomorrow. So needless to say, I had a tumultuous teenage lifestyle. I graduated. Well, no, let me go back. I got kicked out of school my senior year. My mom asked me if I could get her some uppers, pills or something from my friends, and she would trade them some muscle relaxers. So I gave some to this kid in school, and he crushed them up and snorted in class and told him where he got them, and I had pills on me, so I got expelled. They wanted me to go to a bad kid school and said, "Don't fight, don't do anything." And I'm like, I'm gonna fight if somebody comes up to me. So I don't feel comfortable as this secondary school being an option for me. So I homeschooled myself the last 6 months of my senior year and got my GED. While I was in high school, I was in ROTC. I loved it. I loved the discipline. I love my sense of community, my patriotism. I think all kids should go through JROTC to establish a relationship and pride for America. I just loved it. I was in drill team. I had decorations and pins, and it was something I really thrived in. So I tried to go into the Navy when I turned 18. But because of this charge on my file, it looked like I was a drug dealer, and they told me to get the record expunged. So I expunged my record, and the new person, recruiting officer, said that it didn't matter. They couldn't accept me. So this was 18 when I was trying. My mom was like, "You better do this or, your life is going to go downhill." So it went downhill. I started dabbling with meth. I remember one time my mom, it was Thanksgiving, and I couldn't wake up. It was either Thanksgiving or Easter, and I couldn't wake up. I'd been up for too many days, and I was sleeping so hard, and I missed Easter, and I came over, and I had black under my eyes, and that to me still resonates, that being selfish with your drug choices takes you away from the family and the life that God meant for you to have. So all this time, I'm still Christian, but am I? What does that even mean? religion and church just means to control you, and everybody in my life that meant to control me hurt me, and nobody protected me. Nobody gave me that sense of, you're okay. So I got pregnant at 24. I'd only been with this guy for 6 months, maybe. So we had the baby. I sobered up. I didn't do anything. I drank still, drink wine at night or something, but I wasn't like on a bender. I wasn't doing weird stuff. My baby really made me come back to reality. No longer was I living and my choices were for me, it was for my child. So I stayed with his dad for about 8 years. His dad was Buddhist, so I was more spiritual, crystals, herbs, doing things that I knew would invoke, manifestations or whatever. We all hear it. You do your own thing, be your own source of power or change. Nobody's coming to save you. So, look at my life. Nobody came to save me. So I saved myself. I did everything myself. Well, then I got pregnant again. I was still with the boy's dad. So we were together about 7 years. No, 6 years maybe. And I got pregnant with my second. Their dad basically told me, you fucked everything up. Sorry for my cursing, but this is my life. And I told him, this is not a me choice. This happened. Well, it pretty much broke the relationship. He Ubered to make extra money at night, but he just stopped coming home at night. The last straw was our son's birthday, our oldest son's birthday, and he wouldn't come home till like 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. and we had to go to this birthday party, and it was just so overwhelming to me and then my friend messaged me that he had messaged her like, hey, we should link up. And at that point I was like, just go. I'll do my own thing. I don't need anybody. I probably will never get married. And I just packed my shit up and, we moved away from each other. Found my current boyfriend I've been with for 5 years now. But while all that was happening, I was researching conspiracy stuff, reptilian shapeshifters, lizard peoples, demonic entities, all of these supernatural things. And it kind of just hit me in my chest that if these things are real, these literal monsters that are out in the world preying on children and preying on humanity, and the devil's here to rape, steal, lie, and destroy, and that's literally what's happening in the world. So it hit me that if all this is real, God is real, and whose team do I want to be on? Do I want to be living for this world, chasing this depression and these false ideas of self-saving bullshit? Do I want to do that? Or do I want to seek the truth and find the one person that put his hand out? And that was Jesus. I didn't do anything different. I didn't get involved in church and become this new person and fill my day with tasks and good deeds and good Samaritan and how can I service and how can I look like a Christian. I just fell at his knees and said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I walked away. I'm sorry that I left you. I'm sorry that I created this sense of power, because I'm nothing. I am nothing without Jesus. I am literally longing for suicide without Jesus. And sorry, it's just, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Something told me I have to get this recorded. And it's been about 5 years now since I've been with my current boyfriend. We listen to kind of screamo, emo, metal type of rock, we still listen to that. But last year, my stepdad, who had been with us for 20 years, got diagnosed with brain cancer, lung cancer in January, and he died in June. It was so fast. And during that time, I just really clung to the Lord, and I was able to give my mom and my sister encouraging words from God, and I bought them the Chosen DVD, and Brad got to watch that whole first season before he passed, and I know he was right with the Lord, and I know that even motivates me more to be right with the Lord, because when you're going somewhere. And so it really changed, that grief, that loss really changed something in me. I was so angry. I'm still so angry and bitter. My sister and I haven't really spoken in 6 months. We can't get along. We have so much deep-rooted pain from our childhood. And Brad was kind of that connection that kept the family sane. And when we lost that, we lost an ability to communicate. So I just keep praying on it, and I know the Lord is softening my heart. I reached out to my sister. I'm trying to pray for her, pray for me to be the change so she can live a happy life, because we're all just sad people. We're just sad. But every day, my sons and I talk about God's beautiful paintings he makes us in the sky, and every lesson I revolve back to God and the choices they make today and the riches they'll have tomorrow in heaven. And we have nothing in this world, and don't chase these dreams because there's nothing here for us. And I love that I'm able to give them that friendship and that support and that friend in Jesus. God's not just an angry old man that's sent to punish us. He made a promise with us when he sacrificed Jesus. That was gone. We don't have to grovel and beg for forgiveness, because it's already been done. We're already washed. We're already clean enough that God can see us. We're not covered in our sin. So I listen to Christian music now. My jewelry's Christian. My whole life is just God motivated, God centered. When I see a problem, I see a resolution in God. And just today, my manager came and hugged me and told me thank you for my positive attitude. And I just got talking to on Monday. And I got talking to being on my phone, personal time. We all do it. We know, whatever. But it was funny because the day before, I watched a sermon on Palm Sunday about this pastor, and he used to be a Delta employee in customer service, and it was so bad. And he was talking to God, and God gave him the worst one yet, working on your patience. And how are we projecting the kingdom of God onto these people that are in unpleasant situations? And I took that one little thing I heard from that, and I kept the perspective in that meeting. I went out and smiled at my desk and just moved along. And she saw the change, and she said, the positive emotions that I'm giving the office is refreshing, because she is going through so much. A lot of people quit, and just me being able to give her that little positive piece of the day, helps her through her day. And I'm just sat here thinking, that's just the Lord and the Holy Spirit. It's not me. If it was me, Alicia or Allie, whatever you call me, I'm ready to fight you. I'll tell you what you're worth and you'll move on. I am not afraid to hurt anybody's feelings. But lately, I've surrendered that to give my vessel encouragement to others. Because if God never left me, even when I long for death, he'll never leave you. He'll never turn his back on you. You just gotta call out to him. So I'm living my life for the Lord. I don't know if I'll expand on this later. I don't know why I'm even doing this. All it means is just wake up for one more day. Just hold on one more time, and it gets better. And What a friend I have in Jesus. Thanks.